What's up, guys? Mark, Flying Health Coach, coming at you. Peace and cheers as always. Happy insert day, whatever day you end up watching this, but hope you guys are having a great day. Happy that you're here. I hope that you're happy that you're here. Excited maybe to learn some new things, learn some new journaling prompts, learn some new ways to think differently, tackle life differently. Which again is why I make these videos, is because I just want people to approach life from a different avenue sometimes, right? Just look at life differently, look at your thought process differently, all that to help you become the best version of you, right? Which is why I'm here, which is why I do these videos, because ideally I want us all to become our 2.0 versions, right? I want us all to live our best lives. So let's dive into today's topic, which I've done a couple videos on in the past, but I wanted to do the fear 2.0 version, if you will. So that's what we're talking about today, is fear. So what is fear, right? Well, over here, let's put the acronym that I love so much. I think it's a great acronym, but fear is false evidence appearing real. My finger probably won't align with the letters, but you get my drift. False evidence appearing real. So what does that mean? Well, fear is a construct, right? Think back to when you were a little kid, for God's sakes, right? When you're a little kid and you're lying in your bed, there's monsters under your bed, there's monsters in your closet, and, depending upon your belief system, maybe there was. But point is, we develop fear inside our minds, right? Why do you think you're afraid of the dark? Well, beside the monster thing, you're afraid of dark as a kid especially, or even as an adult, because you don't know what's in the darkness, right? But your mind starts to wonder and develop a thought process of, well, this could be there, that could be there, this could be there, that could be there. And then you develop this crazy story in your mind, right? And your mind runs with it, right? It's obviously an attempt to understand something. It's an attempt to, because what do you think of fear, right? It's like you don't understand something. You're lacking a piece of information, a piece of the puzzle, if you will, in your mind, and that creates fear. So you're trying to construct something in your mind so you can understand it and get yourself out of a fearful state. Because if you can understand something, we're not as fearful of it, right? So today, how do you overcome those fears, right? Or how can you at least alleviate those fears a bit so you really don't run your life? Great example goes for like when you're going on a first date, right? Guys or girls for that matter. You're going on a first date and you're super fearful. Why? Because you don't know what's going to happen. You can't foresee the future, right? You're trying to, again, develop some kind of construct of how you want it to go, but what typically happens when you act out of a fearful state, right? When you act out of a fearful state, you don't make the most logical, conscious decisions. Your heart rate's, right? It's going through the roof, right? Your heart rate's up, your anxiety's a little bit higher, right? And you just don't make the most rational, sound decisions. So how do you overcome these things? Deep breath. Breath work does help, folks, but let's go get a little bit, maybe of a different example of what you can do. So before we get to that though, please don't forget, obviously, to like and subscribe to my channel for more content like this. My email is going to go up here, Flying Health Coach, Egyptian dance, right? flyinghealthcoach@gmail.com for coaching purposes, one-on-one coaching, which again, I always mention this too in videos. Coaching is not about me telling you what to do. It's not that. It's us meeting in the middle of where you're at and then helping you develop a plan of getting from A to B, B to C, C to D, so on and so forth, right? And last but not least, I bring this up every video too, but I always like to talk about it, right? My book, Flying Health Coach, Guide to How to Un-F Your Life. You can read it 13, 14 pages for free in the links description on my YouTube page, right? So there's 14 pages for free. If you like what you're reading so far, if it jives with you, awesome. If not, that's cool too. If it's jiving with and you're liking what you're reading, right? It's available for purchase right below that for $6.99 on lulu.com. So if you're so obliged to do so, would love the support. And again, it's all about just helping you guys live your best, your 2.0 version of your life, if you will. So before we get into some actionable steps when it comes to fear, I want to read a blurb out of the book Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. Again, if you haven't had a chance and you're bored and want to do some reading, 100% recommend this book. So the chapter I was reading a while back, he talks about the 10 common negative emotions, and fear be one of them. So I wanted to read a couple things. So what is fear? Just like any emotion, fear, discomfort, anger, hurt, right? They're all just chemical signals in your brain. And those are signals, and I want to call them actionable signals or action signals, right? They're a call to do something. And you guys get that. I know you have. When you're fearful, what do you feel like doing? Like, oh, I got to do something, right? I got to do something to get out of this fear, right? I got to develop a story inside my mind. I don't feel this. But what is fear? So I want to read out of this book. So the message from fear. So fear is simply the anticipation that something that's going to happen soon needs to be prepared for. I.e., first date, job interview, whatever it might be, life, right, for that matter. But be prepared, right? That's your mind's trying to get you prepared for what could happen. So one thing I also want to hear too is you don't want to surrender to fear and amplify it by starting to think of the worst that could happen, nor do you want to pretend it's not there. So that's a big one, right? Is what happens when you get in that fearful state is your mind starts to make this story and it just builds and builds and builds into this unbelievable emotion where 80-90% of what you think is going to happen generally never does, right? Now we don't want to just put our fear over here and act like it's not there, because fear is a healthy thing, right? It's good to be fearful. If you weren't fearful of stuff, it'd be kind of weird, right? Because it's just right. It's an emotion, right? It's a chemical signal that says I care about something, right? Whether it's your own life or whether it's again that first date or your job interview, whatever it is, but it shows that you care, right? It's kind of like jealousy. It's just that you care. We don't always have to have a negative connotation to words like fear, discomfort. They're just signals that you should do something. And for fear is being prepared, right? So you want to prepare your body for what could happen. And how do you do that? Prepare your mind, I should mean, for what could happen. So what's one of the best anecdotes to fear? Well, it's faith, right? So first off, number one, faith, right? And also using some transformational vocabulary, right? So instead of labeling it as a fear, maybe try saying I'm wondering about something, or it's a wonderment feeling, right? So you're taking like the big fear word out and replacing it with wonderment or wonder. Try that. That usually that works pretty good too. It kind of, brings that intensity of that word down a little bit. But back to fear and faith, right? So how do you overcome fear? Well, first it's faith, right? So remind yourself that throughout my past life, I've felt this, right? I felt it. I can feel this in my stomach right now. I felt fearful about certain things. How did I overcome that fear? Well, I got through it every time. What did I do? Well, I think when I think back to it, I had faith, right? And again, not necessarily like Jesus faith, but obviously, yeah, that plays a part into it too. But yeah, faith, it's faith in God or the universe, but the bigger thing is it's faith in yourself, right? So it's putting faith back in yourself that you have the knowledge and the skills and the power and the ability to get through anything in your life. So first and foremost, understand that you have faith. So to overcome fear, remember you have faith. Have faith in yourself that you have the abilities to get through something. What's step number 2? Action, right? So first, have faith. Second, have an action. Do something, right? So if let's just say you're going to go on a first date again, right? So it's your first date, you're nervous as hell, it's in a couple hours. Go for a walk. Leave your cell phone here, go for a walk. See how you feel. You're going to feel a lot better, I'm telling you right now. 15, 20 minutes, just do a quick walk, breathe, right? You could listen to a song, you could go to the gym quick. But the point is put some kind of action. That's not just all first date type stuff, that's in general. If you're fearful of something in your life, do something, right? Make sure you have a meaning in your life. You have a purpose that you're going for. So if you're fearful that you're not going to be successful, take one next step forward, right? Because what do we do too when it comes to building like your 2.0 version? You're thinking of 20 steps down the road right now, and all of that forward thinking, which isn't bad, but it also just hinders that initial step 1, right? I want to lose weight. Cool. Go put your running shoes on. There's step 1. Okay, I did that. Okay, now let's go do step 2. I'm going to go for a walk, right? But that's also type of fear, is because a lot of us, you're building the story in your head where I have this big life goal and I want to achieve it, but I'm thinking so far ahead already. I don't just think in the present moment, right? I really want to date this person. They're amazing. So I'm already thinking about marrying them. Okay, well, now it's going to put you in a fearful state. You're already thinking way down the road. Just take the next step, right? So when you think of overcoming fear in your life, first identify that fear. What am I scared of? What are you feeling right now? Where's that fear coming from? Okay? But then when you identify that fear, take some deep breaths, just relax. And then first thing and foremost, have faith, right? Put that faith back in yourself that there's been times in my life where I've been able to overcome fear before. I've overcome it, I've gotten better, right? So have faith in yourself and have faith in God and the universe. Have faith in everything everything's going to help you and wants you to get to the next step in your life, wants you to progress. right? So have that faith. Second thing is action. Do something. Put some action forward, and that, journaling is a great example. Journal. Go for a walk. Go for a run, right? Call a loved one, call your brothers or sisters, your family, your best friend, right? Or go do whatever. Just put some action forward. If you're focused on building the best version of you right now, and you're always focused on step 25 and 30 down the road, just take the next step, right? We don't need to think so far ahead. That's going to create fearful too. Just take the one next step that you know you can do. Okay? So I hope this video helps. I want these videos, again, just to bring you guys back to square one sometimes, because I know I'm guilty of it too, to where I tend to just jump way far ahead and I try to do too much too soon. I try to fix everything versus just, what is the next step in my life? What's the next step I can take to help me overcome the fear that I'm having right now? Because remember, just like, fear, anger, discomfort, all those things are just emotions. Just like happiness, just like feeling empathy, just like feeling calm and peace. They're emotions. They're just a call for you to do something, nothing more than that. It's a construct you developed inside your head, but it's just a call to action. That's all it is. So you want the best anecdote to fear. Have faith in yourself, God, in the universe, that you're going to get through this. And 2, take the next step. Take one next step forward, and that's all you have to do. So, and if you want a good reframe for that one too, if you didn't have fear, if you didn't have discomfort or hurt or pain in your life, if you didn't have those emotions, you wouldn't have all those good action signals that your mind's telling you that you want to improve and become a better person, and you want to live a better version of your life. So also be thankful for them, as hard as it is sometimes, especially in your moment. I know, I get it. So try those couple of things. Have faith in yourself, God, in the universe. Take just the one next step forward, whatever that means in your life. Doesn't matter what it means for me. It's going to be different for you. But do something. Put some action forward. It's going to help you alleviate the fear. And it's going to help calm you down a little bit, knowing that you did something. Promise you it will. So again, fear, false evidence appearing real. Just a construct, guys. That's all it is. Don't think so hard about it. Don't let it control your life. Don't build it into something bigger than what it is. Attack it while it's young, right? Get it while it's small. Do those things when it's small. And as you do that more and more, as you get consistent with it, that intensity of that fear is not going to be as high anymore. The intensity of those emotions aren't going to be as high anymore, because now you're able to, I can't snap my fingers for shit. You can recognize it sooner, and you can make that change a lot sooner too. So again, hope this video helps. As always, I want these videos just to make you guys think a little bit differently in your life. I want you to just look at life differently, have different thoughts, and again, all this stuff just to help build the best version of you. So, have a good rest today. Flying Health Coach is peacing out. Cheers, folks. We'll talk to you soon.